Hey everybody, it's Cryptobirb'S here. It's again. I'm super excited to be hosting this very special webinar, Friday's webinar for everybody in this brand new, beautiful studio that I have. Well, this is going to be quite an intense session, everybody. I really hope you're going to stay with me for the entire time because you are going to find out why you should leave crypto soon. And I'm going to tell you exactly what my expectations are for the next weeks for Bitcoin, for the ultimate alt season to come, and for the bear market 2022. And if you guys are ready for the free ride with me on this beautiful Friday evening, make sure you stay tuned because we are going there right in a moment. Beautiful. Welcome, everybody. And to start with, I want to say and give the beautiful credits to our sponsor. And this video is sponsored by Crypto.com, the only exchange that allows you to purchase newly listed tokens up to 50% off. It is quite a good case to go for the app and check it out. And you're going to be able to find all the information right in the description to this video. And well, you can also earn 50 bucks extra if you go for the link attached in the description. This is free money. Welcome, everybody. I'm very, very, very excited. As you can tell, I'm smiling all the way up, and it's pretty crazy because basically this is a new studio office setup that I have got. It's very fresh. It's very new. Well, this beautiful neons. We're going to see how it actually just goes. But today's agenda for the meeting, everybody, is pretty tense, pretty intense, and I'll do my best to actually squeeze in as much information and as in a short period of time as I always do. Okay, we're going to discuss Bitcoin's technical analysis. I'm going to give it the reference to Bitcoin magazine that I wrote the article for. I'm going to give you the best tips about the ultimate alt season, which is coming, and it's coming very, very soon. And on top of that, I'm going to also give you the Business Insider features as well that I pretty much just collected the other day. I'm going to tell you and explain how superposition effect works, and so that you can maximize your profits and gains out of that while remaining pretty safe, pretty much safe, okay, for the entire period and process. I'm going to also tell you about the exit plan, my exit plan before the bear market starts. My exit plan, you heard me well. I'm going to leave the most of my money are going to go out of crypto. I'm not going to leave crypto per se. As people may read it, I'm not going to leave anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. I'm still going to be trading crypto actively, but it's just that my portfolio is going to be in a slightly different place. And I'm going to tell you exactly why and what signals I'm going to use and search in order to find and spot the actual reversals patterns. Then we're going to follow up with a previous, with reference to the previous shows, short Q&A. Okay, so make sure you actually put in your questions in the comments. Always hit that subscribe button, smash the likes, leave some kind comments, and leave the questions because I'm going to be doing my best to answer them as we go. Okay. And yeah, everybody, if you are ready for what's coming, let's actually kick off and open up the chart for you. Okay. Very quick, by the way. In the meantime, let me know where you're writing from. Where you're writing from. I could see Amsterdam. I could see India. Please let me know very, very quick. Okay. Beautiful. You should be able to see my screen right now. Okay. So very simple stuff. Very simple stuff. We are going to cover, to start with Bitcoin's technical analysis and back it up with the article that I previously written for Bitcoin Magazine, the largest Bitcoin-oriented, cryptocurrency-oriented magazine for the specialists. Okay, by the specialists for the people. This is going to be quite an interesting read. So I just want to make sure, guys, that you're with me on the same page. To start with, what we can say is that we have Bollinger Bands in here. Okay, Bollinger Bands, all these dotted curves are the upper and lower bands. This is the upper band and the lower band of the Bollinger Bands. We also have 20-day moving average. It's 20-day because it's 20 periods, and here the period is day, the daily time frame, which is one of the most frequent that I use personally. Okay, so we have a setup of three important curves indicators, if you will. And Bollinger Bands is constructed in such a way that it includes the mean, which is the median or the main reference point. And on top of that, it includes the bands, the upper band and the lower band, and those upper bands and lower bands are to both distanced from the Bollinger from the main median by 2 standard deviations. Okay, 2 standard deviations to the upside and 2 standard deviations to the downside. So standard deviation tells you about the average level, average amount, let's say percentage in a way that the price action stands away, just stands out from its mean, from its average price. Okay, this is quite important. By the way, if there is any connection like interruptions, just voice, or you stop hearing me, seeing me, just please let me know very quick. Okay, in the comments as well. Keep the comments coming. And because of that, because of the statistics of like the nature of the statistics, 2 standard deviations in both directions cover altogether for 95% of the entire price action, which means that for this indicator is constructed in such a way that for the 95 of the entire time being for Bitcoin's price action, you have to find Bitcoin inside the bands or between the bands, if you will, right? Which is not outside like here, okay? It's mainly trading inside. That's how this indicator is constructed. So at the same time, the remaining 5%, okay, the remaining 5% of cases, the remaining 5% of the entire time that Bitcoin trades belongs to the very extremes, okay, to the extreme highs, just like here, okay, or to the extreme lows, just like here and here. And the extremes, the abnormal volatility, when it hits, it usually generates buying or selling opportunities for everybody. Okay. Okay, there are people saying there's some bad quality, but from what I'm reading, this may be your personal case. This is not really like some. I think everybody has it pretty well. Okay, let's see. And moving on, what it tells you is that the higher chances for Bitcoin for the next days and weeks to come is based on this average volatility is to trade somewhere between what the 58.5, okay, 58.7, and the upper band is 64.78, whatever. Okay, so let's assume 58.5 and 64.5. Okay, this gives you about $6,000 range. So you can expect that based on the regular volatility that Bitcoin has, if there is no unexpected, news or no unexpected bullish news or bearish news, Bitcoin is supposed to trade inside this period, inside this region, okay, between 58.5 and 64.5. But the moment we see an abnormal volatility, the moment we see an abnormal, candle, let's say a frost candle, a candle that closes, okay, closes through this upper band resistance, this generates a volatility-based breakout signal. Okay, volatility-based breakout signal. This is very powerful, not even trend change indication, but it's a very powerful thrust which defines the market direction. It's an actual breakout. On top of that, many of you may or may not know, remember when I was last 2 weeks, a week ago, I cannot recall, I was mentioning how Bitcoin, after setting $67,000 and then the lows of $57,000, was pretty much bound to continue in a slight narrowing consolidation period, okay, which is a triangle. And guess what? We have just formed a proper triangle. Okay, this is not some legit bullshit. You can actually just, like, after the show, I highly encourage everybody to go scroll through a couple of videos that I made in the past days, and I promise to you, are going to find this pattern and me talking about this pattern. It's like, how did I know that? It's because Bitcoin usually likes chart patterns to be the triangles. Usually contracts the chart patterns. So you have a lot of triangles, you have a lot of pennants, you have a lot of wedges as well. Okay. This is pretty awesome. And what does that mean? If you see this triangle, okay, then this triangle or a bullish pennant, whatever. I was talking about the triangle in case of a breakdown. You would see a more bearish pennant. I mean, bullish pennant, but it's in a slightly more bearish case than the triangle itself. Okay, one way or another, whether it's a pennant or bull flag, it's completely irrelevant, because what matters is the half. Is that this is a half mast formation. Half mast formation, which means that that it happens usually somewhere midway through the trend. Okay, it usually happens like a bearish, like a pennant, be it bullish or bearish. It happens accordingly inside the bullish trend or a bearish trend. Okay, usually after very sharp movements. So it's not that the market is barely moving and you see a contracting consolidation and you call it a pennant. That's not an actual pennant. A pennant happens and occurs after an explosive move, and it's a very rapidly growing and very narrow consolidation. It looks like this. Okay, you have this very strong, powerful thrust sessions candles, you name it. Okay, and well, they serve as an actual mast, as a pole, and it's called half mast formation because when that happens, it happens usually somewhere in the middle of the trend. You could expect the trend continuation for at least the pole size, the mast size, okay, which is pretty much taken from the prior breakout level, let's say some accumulation, to the actual high of the pennant, okay, or a triangle. Completely like to here in this case, it's like part of the pennant is a triangle pattern because it's a triangular formation, geometrical like case bounce. Okay, but to be honest, it's completely irrelevant how you call that, whether you call that triangle. Of course, it doesn't look like Head and Shoulders, but if you call that Head and Shoulders, doesn't matter too much because what matters, as a matter of fact, are the only extreme levels, which is the extreme high and extreme low. This defines so-called base size. And the base size, which is the size of the pattern, defines the breakout target, okay? So the minimal breakout target for this pattern, triangle, whatever you name that, okay, range, sideways consolidation, gives you the range between, like, again, $57,000 and $67,000. Okay, so this tells you that whatever the breakout like level is, if it's here, it's going to give you $67,000 added, well, like $10,000 added on top of that. Okay, so 10K added on top of that 67. So this already takes you somewhere in the high 70s. Okay, so just if you see this very breakout of the triangle, or whatever you name that, okay, this alone should technically take you in this high 70 area, in the high 70 region. Okay, and if that's guys pretty you can catch it, if you can understand that well, please let me know in the comments so that I don't rush too fast. Of course, if you're new, like, I don't expect you to understand everything just right away immediately. Like, it's hard to expect people to understand quantum physics or quantum chemistry or just go and do the asymmetric cryptography for the blockchain and all that. Like, if you're new, just stay patient. Okay, but more importantly than the triangle itself, the worst case I could see for an upside breakout is 677,000. Okay, but more importantly is that it's more likely not a triangle alone, like a separated standalone triangle, but it's more of a pennant. It's more of a pennant, and this pennant, okay, involves the mast as the main kind of like a base foundation for it. Okay, very sharp, aggressive thrust sessions, followed by very narrow, tiny consolidation. Okay, that usually does not last too long. And here you guys would see a proper breakout retest. Okay, if that is the case, then you could anticipate that this entire size, okay, this entire size of this pole mast, which is from basically 40, what is that, like, what, $42,000 all the way up to $67,000. This gives you $25,000 range. $25,000 added on top of a breakout level. And the breakout level, if you assume it's 63, 64 because of the Bollinger Bands, okay, perhaps 65, then 65 plus 25, well, this gives you somewhere in the upper $80,000 region at least to start with. Okay, so 85 conservative target for the pattern of the bullish pennant. Okay, so we have 677 or 70, whatever, higher upper range of the 70s as the minimum target for an upside breakout. Okay, and then not a minimum, not a maximum, but just somewhere in the middle, perhaps. The proper bull flag target would be about high $80,000. And the truth is that many people think and confuse that technical analysis would tell you, okay, like, because this bald guy in the TV says that the chart needs to follow that, and like that's a bullshit. Okay, the technical analysis works because it is a self-fulfilling prophecy in most of the cases. Self-fulfilling prophecy, which means that the patterns, we make the patterns work. I keep repeating that, but basically it's scientifically proven that based on the research from behavioral like finance practitioners and professors in the academic industry. They would tell you that whenever we recognize patterns, okay, whenever we recognize certain patterns, formulas, something that we have known from the past, okay, our brains are rewarded with a shot of dopamine, which is the hormone of happiness, which makes it easier for us to remember. And this is some probably evolutionary kind of like an aspect or addition that we have in our bodies, like this additional sense that used to help us while running away from tigers or in the jungle, or for killing the mammoths, or spotting the danger in the forest or something like this in the very ancient times. Okay, so now we have the reminders of that in our heads while making the financial decisions, and we see the patterns because a lot of people see the same patterns. They would expect it to work in a very similar manner. So the overall consensus for a chart pattern which looks bullish, that you can read about it in the chart textbook, like a technical analysis Bible or whatever. Okay, if it says upwards, then many people would read this, very caption or the entire book, and they would claim, okay, this is a ascending triangle, so it is usually a bullish pattern, so it's supposed to break up. So I better bid it, I better buy that. Okay, so they buy that, and naturally price increases. Okay, and then the price increases, which confirms their previous assumption. So it's completely irrelevant from the practical point of view, for why technical analysis works, because we know that it does work, and that's what the most important part of it is. Okay, and if we go very, very quick, okay, very, very quick, through my article that I wrote for Bitcoin Magazine, which is basically one of the largest, magazines, if you will. Bitcoin Magazine, I'm going to tell you and show you. Okay, it's like 1.5 million followers, by the way. Oh yeah, I got verified on Twitter, by the way. No more scam bots. Hopefully, I got verified. So it's pretty neat. It's pretty cool. Okay, but well, this hopefully adds some credibility as well. But basically, here I'd explain to the Bitcoin Magazine insiders. I explained how I do believe that Bitcoin is set to rally, okay, and it's on the way to rally towards $100,000, which would work as a magnet. I'm not going to read it all the way through to you guys. Okay, I'm going to instead put it in here for you guys to check it. Okay, feel free. But the most important gist is that we are most likely set for the upside continuation, because like if you look at it, then the $70,000 is the next round number, and the round numbers in technical analysis, because of this being self-fulfilling prophecy, they tend to work as a self-fulfilling prophecy as a matter of fact. So it should work as a magnet. Okay, now that we've breached the new all-time highs, which is extremely like valuable and strong signal from the market, it's going to be very impossible to negate its power. Like whenever Bitcoin especially, or whenever any other asset just prints new all-time highs, it's extremely rare case that it's nothing. Instead, way more often than not, it's an extremely historical event, okay, where the history is made and some huge consequences, I should say implications of that come to follow. Okay, so basically in the article I was explaining how price was consolidating, just like I said, between 58, that was the case, up to $67,000. Okay, and how this showed that the market was way stronger at the same or old all-time highs, okay, printed in April and May. The market printed the same numbers, but those numbers are very much different because they are way more powerful. Okay, they are way more powerful right now. And if we go through the better understanding, then again, because of the strength of Bitcoin, we should see an unquestionable reign of bulls for the next weeks. Okay, I'm not saying next 5 days, I'm not saying next 8 days, I'm saying next weeks. It may last 5, 10 weeks, 15, I don't know. Okay, But basically, if Bitcoin trend does not show any weakness, okay, in the $90,000 to $130,000 region, eventually, and it comes there, it would be possible actually to continue higher and like place, the new record somewhere between $150,000 and $200,000. But I'm going to later on explain to you and like give you perfect, beautiful reasoning for why I cannot really care too much about these levels or where it stops. Okay. When the Bitcoin finally flies through the $70,000 milestone, it would cause a snowball effect and cause a substantial FOMO, fear of missing out, on the both retail and institutional side. Okay, and more importantly, I'm saying that Bitcoin is way stronger than it ever was before at the same levels. Is that the on-chain analytics, which is, for example, NUPL, okay, or the active addresses or the hash rates, if you will, those actually are lagging. If you have a look in here, okay, then you can tell that the previous levels of Bitcoin, which already were broken and breached with the circle in here, and even when you compare the net unrealized profit and loss, which is an on-chain indicator, okay, this is nowhere near its highs, which means that the price has already breached its new all-time highs. It's made its new all-time highs. It shows its power. But this happened with much less engagement on the on-chain side. So much less on-chain power, much less on-chain potential was used to generate the new all-time highs push on price. This tells me that the on-chain has a lot of room to catch up. Okay, on-chain has a lot of room to catch up, at least from the previous all-time highs of $65,000 of April and May. So on-chain is lagging behind. And this shows you that there is so much more upside potential. The market is pushing higher in price, but it's nowhere near exhausted as it was in April and May. Same as I said for the number of active addresses. Here's like a weekly moving average on an hourly chart. Okay, same case. The highs area from April and May, or whatever the period was. Okay, on the orange curve, which represents the mean of number of active addresses. Okay, the price breached new all-time highs, which is the black curve. The new all-time highs already made, and the active active addresses, the mean, the average, is way lower compared with this. As far as I can recall, it was either 75 or 85% of the previous power, quote unquote, used on the on-chain side. Okay, so this basically looked to me that Bitcoin is getting ready for something huge, because imagine if Bitcoin is printing new all-time highs already with on-chain analytics per the NUPL, per active addresses, per hash rate, being used in not even like in just a fraction of what it was used to build the previous all-time highs. Then imagine what happens if Bitcoin catches up with the full power on the on-chain side. Okay, that's the way I look at it. And more importantly, again, the many people would think that because Fear and Greed Index shows you extreme greed, that it's bound to pretty much crash. And they only say that because they're in an under position. They only say that, they only feel entitled to say that because they have missed out. There is no other explanation, basically. Okay, and as I said so many times, the crowds are always right in the middle of trend, but they're always wrong at the extremes. And well, this is flashing the extreme greed, if you will. Okay, at that time it was pure greed, perhaps no extremes, but with this difference that the market is no leverage. It's having, with the bigger context accounted, it's having huge deal more of potential on the on-chain side, on the sentiment side, on the intermarket rotation side as well. Okay, so there is so much more potential to catch up. That makes me think that Bitcoin, especially that is my new all-time highs, which is unquestionable. Okay, this basically confirms that, well, to me, it's a middle of trend rather than an extreme. Okay, and just like this, I think it's very good so that we move everybody to altcoin analysis. Okay, and if I were to give you, hopefully I'm going to find it in the chart, but perhaps might be easier if I find it on Twitter. Let me find for the bookmarks. That is some pretty cool shit. I'll tell you in a second. So basically, there's this guy Nicholas, who's pretty neat, pretty funny, and some guys on Twitter, some folks on Twitter rent his voice, and they make him read some stuff like, there was usually you ask some celebrities to read the message for you, to read some, to wish happy birthday or whatever, or to sing a song for you, but those those guys of Twitter, of crypto Twitter, they made him read the entire Ethereum white paper. This is, I'm not going to play that because it's sick, but I fucking love this space so much. Let me show you that. Okay, so that's, I played that last time, basically on the last webinar. So very quick, I'm going to explain that, how it's going to work for those who are new and yet to catch up. By the way, if you just guys have arrived to this very YouTube channel of ours, of the Birb Nest, with the beautiful logo up there, please make sure you hit the subscribe button, smash the likes, turn your notifications on, okay, and leave some kind comments, especially when they involve questions, because I'll do my best to actually go through them. Okay, but basically, I do expect, I don't know the date. I don't have a crystal ball. I have no idea when Bitcoin is going to like stop or where it's going to fly. Okay, like I don't have a crystal ball, but there are a bunch of assumptions I can make. Okay, and I do make an assumption that we are yet to catch up with the largest like pumps, and the orange curve is for Bitcoin, and the black curve is for the altcoins market capitalization, all altcoins aggregated, combined together. Okay, so I do expect Bitcoin to take the lead. Okay, Bitcoin to take the lead, just like it shows. Okay, and eventually blow off with the top somewhere. Whenever you see euphoria climax, whenever you see all those signs and signals that I implemented, that I informed about like so many times before, like, media stations talking about Bitcoin, of course, day and night, JP Morgan announcing their hidden Bitcoin stacks, Elon Musk accepting back cryptos, Apple, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, all the tech giants, big massive corporate world accepting crypto and payments. That is going to happen all along the way. It's already happening. The banks, the biggest bank of Australia, to the best of my understanding, has already given the option. Correct me, Aussie friends, if I'm right, if I'm wrong. But to the best of my understanding, the Australian bank actually allowed and approved cryptocurrency service to some extent. Like, that's the adoption that I mean. That is the upcoming top signals that you want to search for. Okay, and basically this is going to accompany us as we go up. And assuming there is this peak somewhere between $150,000 and $200,000, you're going to see about 50 to like even more $1,000 drop in a single day on the reversal day, just like it says Bitcoin bear market starts. And when the Bitcoin bear market starts, altcoins, okay, altcoins per the black curve, okay, altcoins take a hit as large as Bitcoin, or perhaps even larger. I don't know that. Okay, but what matters more instead is that Bitcoin would bounce back immediately, very sharply and very fast, because it would be filled with followers, with retail traders, with mainstream buying the dip. Okay, not knowing what they are doing, to be honest. Okay, and it would fail. Okay, it would fail. It eventually would fail, and when this would fail, there would be a market rotation. This failure would start and ignite the largest ultimate alt season. Okay, and I'm saying that basically, like, if we turn it red, I'm saying that well, because that is what usually happens when you fill. I explained it so many times, but when you like fill the market with capital, okay, when you fill the market with money, okay, and when this money starts leaving Bitcoin, all of a sudden they're going to go for other, well, nearest quote unquote liquid assets. And because altcoins are not so well liquid, they're going to pop up. Okay, they're going to pop those 10x, 100x pumps. So basically, I do expect after Bitcoin peaks, I do expect the largest ultimate alt season ever seen, ever recorded in any record. Okay, all the brand new highs everywhere across the board, with altcoins ripping 10x, 100x on a daily basis. This is going to be, guys, if you were there in 2017 when I was starting the Birb Nest, if you were there in 2017, then you know what I'm talking about. But with this difference, that this time it's going to be so much harder, so much bigger. Okay, And the reason for that is because this is not retail market anymore. This is mainly institutional market. That is what is different, like against 2017. Now institutions are in the market. Retails back in 2017 were ruling as the main source of growth for crypto because there were no regulations back then. Okay, the no regulations meant that the institutions could not enter through the door that existed back then because there were no doors. Okay, there were no windows for them to enter and hop in the market. Now you have ETFs, okay, approved by SEC. Now you have actual like Bitcoin products. You have of course like decentralized exchanges, centralized exchanges. You have a lot of liquidity. You have ETFs. You have futures on the CME. You have options. You have everything. You have all the tools you want to actually go and trade if you're an institution. And this makes it so much different. Okay, 2021 is way different than 2017. Not for the mechanism. The mechanism is the same. The market is going to rally, but it's different because it has different market structure. Market structure as in demography. The market is institutionalized, and those institutions, they are not going to flip shitcoins just like that. When they invest a lot of money. Okay, and they are very patient about that. They do not play 100x leverage day and night 50 times a day, buying, selling assets, shorting, longing in the basement. That's not what they do. Okay, so when all this money leaves Bitcoin, it goes like milk spilled across the table. It will spread across the altcoins, and it's going to pop up like mushrooms after the rain in the forest. Okay, yeah. What else? Like this is pretty neat. Okay, so back to the Business Insider. Like there is another article I'm working on with beautiful people of Business Insider to help you actually as well better understand that. But most importantly, I gave a couple of hints of what my peaks were. Okay, and back then, which was 337,000, and it's way over 500,000 already. Now, I gave an explanation for how I thought Firm Network or Linear Finance, okay, or Radix DLT, okay, or Starterra or Synapse Network, like how those potentially could serve as the 10 to 100x ralliers, as 10 to 100x pumpers, okay? And I do believe that this case is actually coming to realize in the next 2-3 months, maybe. Okay, but back to the chart. The ultimate alt season, in my opinion, will not happen until Bitcoin blows off. Okay, the Bitcoin needs to blow off the top. It needs to have the blow off top first. This euphoria buying climax with the $50,000 reversal day or something like this. Okay, usually it's about 45% of the high. So the higher it goes, the bigger the decline nominally would be. But most importantly, this window, this altcoin season, this ultimate altcoin season, way larger, 2017 on steroids, is going to last, in my opinion, somewhere between 2 and 4 weeks. Okay? And this is going to bring insane earning opportunity, insane buying opportunities, or should I say insane selling opportunities, okay, for those who were watching my streams for the past year. And it's going to bring insane risk as well. Okay, which is why I'm going to cover very briefly how I am going to protect myself against the losses. Okay, so let me know very quick. Is that right? So is that clear so far somehow? Okay, I really want to make sure you guys understand what I'm saying. Remember to hit the subscribe button, smash the likes, leave some kind comments. Don't be afraid to do so. Hit the notifications bell. This is pretty crazy, guys, for what we are about to experience and witness. Okay, I'm going to tell you what is needed right now. You have to understand very well the superposition effect. And basically a superposition effect is what I call the dependence between Bitcoin, USD or dollar and altcoins. Okay, this triangle, this trinity in a way. Okay, so we have the BTC. Okay, and that, by the way, that dependence changes over the time. It's dynamic. It's not a simple case, but a sample that I've had to find my way to understand, to understanding this well over the years of active trading. But yeah, I pretty much think I know how it works. So I'm about to expose that to you and explain that to you step by step. Okay, so BTC. BTC, we have altcoin BTC pair as well. Okay, we have BTC USD, of course, BTC USD, altcoin BTC, and altcoin USD. So the superposition effect is, okay, as I explained that. By the way, let me know very quick if you can see that well. I just want to make sure. Okay, is that the superposition works in a way that this part, the altcoin USD charts, the altcoin USD movements, are an actual combination of BTC USD movements, okay, and altcoin BTC movements. Okay, I hope it makes sense so far. But having this in mind, okay, we know that, let's say, this added to this should result in this. Okay, so you can put some, well, questionable like equation mark, if you know what I'm saying, right? This is not enough, like this is qualitative, this is not quantitative. Okay, I'm not going to like catch or be picky about the numbers in here, the decimals. It's completely irrelevant. The most important part is that when the Bitcoin goes up, okay, and there's enough stability in the market, the altcoin BTC, okay, pairs may stay flat, okay, because the altcoin's strength, the altcoin's economic strength against BTC stay flat, okay, it stays flat, it stays unchanged, unbothered. And when that happens, ooch, I need to plug my charger. Give me a second. I need to plug my charger. Completely forgot I got my charger in here. Oh, I don't want my laptop to die. Completely forgot about that. Okay, it seems to be back. Okay, so when the altcoins against BTC, they do not change too much, okay, then they basically, well, stay flat. And when that happens, this plus this equals this. So we can expect this to happen within these very phase, okay, these very phase. And you can expect that in this very phase is basically when Bitcoin decides as the main leader for the party and altcoins follow, but they do not outperform Bitcoin. They are just there to follow, okay? They're just lagging slightly bit behind because still the main attention is put towards Bitcoin, which you can read as Bitcoin dominance chart gaining in value, okay? Gaining in percentage. When there is a case that Bitcoin goes up, okay, and altcoin BTC go up as the pairs, okay, then you have this double pump. You have outperformance on the altcoin USD. So Bitcoin, let's say, pumps 5%. Okay, this altcoins against Bitcoin appreciate 5% as well. Then this leads you somewhere, of course, like approximately to 10% upwards increase in altcoins. Okay, so like again, numbers are questionable or arguable. Like we're not going to talk about decimals or like economic fluctuations because there is dependence on the dollar, there is dependence on the interest rate 24/7, and so on and so forth. We are not going to too much into details about that. Okay, but assuming very simple case, Bitcoin goes up, altcoins appreciate in value against BTC, we have this double pump. And this double pump is what we call an out season. When altcoins appreciate in value way more than Bitcoin does, okay, and both pump and rally in tandem. This is pretty sick. And when that happens, well, this is the time that we have in here, okay? So we have the phase number one, which is following altcoins following, Bitcoin chart. This is phase number one. The phase number two is our ultimate out season, okay, which is basically meaning that both BTC USD is going up for a moment, at least for a moment. I'm talking about this very short period of time that Bitcoin is bouncing back, okay, with attempt to break the previous highs, but it will fail. But as it will fail, altcoins are going to still get the capital out of Bitcoin. Okay, so you have this double pump, and this double pump is exactly what I call this like superposition effect in form of an ultimate out season. So ultimate out season is such a case. Okay, then whenever Bitcoin stays flat and altcoin BTC stay flat, just like it was for the majority of most of the quarter three, then naturally it stays flat. Okay, so you saw that almost here. Okay, this period in June, I think. In our case, okay, in our case is when Bitcoin goes down, okay, and this stays flat. So natural result, our superposition effect tells you it's going down, okay. And finally, okay, finally, I'm trying to simplify as much as I can. When Bitcoin goes down, okay, and altcoins going down, then you have double dump. Same day, same way you have ultimate alt season, you would have in the bear market, you would have the exact opposite of the ultimate alt season, which is ultimate doom or ultimate doom season, whatever you named it. Okay, meaning that altcoins, whenever the bear market hits, just like here, I know it's a lot of squiggles, but whenever the altcoins start dropping after Bitcoin drops, then you have both directional alignment for altcoins dropping and Bitcoin dropping. This is going to be, money exiting crypto completely. Okay, this is going to mean that money is leaving crypto completely. It's leaving both Bitcoin and altcoins. And this is the exact opposite of the ultimate alt season. And this is going to happen right after ultimate alt season happens. Okay, so most important lesson for many of you. By the way, there are more than 2,122 viewers. I'm so excited. Wow, that is pretty cool. That is pretty cool, guys. 2,000 viewers live. I think this is the first time I've ever had anything like this. I do definitely appreciate it. Let me know very quick in the comments if you guys appreciated this. Uh, Friday evening of mine. This is 8 p.m. coming to in a quarter. So, so that I try to spend my free time and educate everybody for free. If you appreciate it, just hit the likes, okay, smash the subscribe button, tap the notification bells, and there's going to be quite a good information and announcement and news coming right at the end of this stream. So make sure, guys, you stay to the very last second, and you're not going to regret it. You have my word. Okay. So knowing of this, of the altcoin peaks, knowing of what the ultimate alt season means, knowing what a superposition effect is, knowing that the ultimate doom season, I like this name, ultimate doom season. Let's phrase it this way, okay? I don't know, just come up with that. Perhaps there's somebody else coming this way, but I didn't ever hear that anywhere before. So ultimate doom season, this is going to come, okay, as a natural result of the market peak on Bitcoin and on altcoin side. So talking about that, we have to understand, everybody has to understand how, guys, you have to be ready with your exit plan just in time. You want to be exiting the market before it catches on fire. You want to be exiting the market before you get caught red-handed. You want to be exiting the market before your portfolio loses 50% on value in a single day. When you have $1,000, your risk is still $500. This is, let's agree, this is not much. But when you have 500 million and your portfolio drops 250 million in a single day, then this quite bothers and brings some pain if you agree. Okay, so this is why the bigger result, the bigger the money, the bigger responsibility, the bigger the money, the bigger the pain you get from the market if you're wrong. Okay, so basically you have to be aware. You have to be aware of your exit plan, and I'm going to give you and explain that right very quick in a second. Okay, so the exit plan. Let me show you this. Okay, this is a bookmark tweet, not this very one, but where did I have it? Where did I have it? Well, this was of Dubai. I think it was this. By the way, yeah, whatever. You can find all those tweets. I'm not going to just throw it in your face. I was having this dinner with Ran in Dubai the other day. Okay, and I explained the life to him and to other guests at the table, for how my vision of the end would look like. So basically, Bitcoin when I was saying that Bitcoin was trading before its new all-time highs, October 18th. I think October 20th was the new all-time highs for Bitcoin. But basically, Bitcoin all-time high was bound to happen. That is a check. Institutional and retail's FOMO hard. Well, Australian banks like Mastercard accepting back, crypto or offering crypto like custody or whatever. Coinbase rushing, Coinbase pushing and like running forward, for with their activities. You see Elon Musk talking about accepting back cryptocurrency payments. You're going to see then tech giants opening crypto payments: Apple, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, eBay, Alibaba, all of that. Okay, and corporate like Uber, most likely, and so on and so forth. Then this eventually leads to the Bitcoin peak, approximately somewhere between 150 and $200,000. Where that happens at 99 or 199 or 175 or 133.33, 33, 33, I don't have a clue. Nobody does. I don't have a no. I don't really have a single idea where it's going to stop, when it's going to stop, but I want to track my exit signals. And those down the list, okay, those like institutionals following in, tech giants accepting crypto payments, this is one of the exit signals for me. It's not an exit signal like an instant or immediate, okay, that I could use like go immediately out of the market, but instead this all together comes in one piece and creates one single piece, one complete puzzle, if you will. Okay, so what I'm going to use to arrange my, well, not arrange because I have it arranged, but to monitor over my exit plan or exit strategy. Okay, and this might be also used for many of you why you should leave crypto soon as well, rather than packing all your life savings and money into that. Okay, well, to start with, when you are joining RAW, when you have just joined, and I'm quite sure there are many people who just joined, this is well, better later than never, but you have to be aware. You cannot deny the fact that you guys are late. You guys are extremely late to the party. You have literally missed out 3 years of the bull market. If you wanted to enter the bull market, where have you been ever since 2018 and December when the Bitcoin was bottoming out? Okay, so you have to understand and respect instead of living in denial. You're not going to earn generational wealth in the next 5 minutes. Okay, you have missed out on 3 years of opportunities. So you have to be aware of this in the first place. When you're aware of that, okay, then you can start to bring some rationale on how you can actually make opportunity out of that. I'm not saying you're not going to earn money. I'm saying you're late extremely badly. Okay, you're very, very late. And like after acknowledging that, you know that you have very limited time and space to make money of it. Okay, there is nothing bad in you joining right now. I'm just saying you're late. Okay, and when you're late, you have to act differently than versus when you're not late and when you're on time. Okay, and you have to be way more understanding to yourself. You have to be way more, how to call that, proactive about your trades. You cannot really invest right now for long term, in my opinion, right? I can remember people investing in Ripple in 2018 bubble, for long term at the very peak day, and they never recovered, to the best of my memory. So when you buy the top, and when you think that you're going to recover from that, and you usually try to justify and rationalize your poor mistake, your poor choice, okay, then you say, okay, I'm in it for the long term. I don't give a damn. I don't give an F if it crumbles or if it goes down. This is bullshit. You're going to cry your ass down if you're going to see your portfolio just go down 99%. If you put your life savings into a shitcoin, you'll watch it go down 99% in value. You're going to lose everything. You're going to lose your houses. You're going to lose your families as well if you leverage them. You're going to lose your plans. You're going to lose your jobs, because most likely you will have already resigned from your jobs, quitted your jobs, because you're going to be complacent and euphoric because your Dogecoin, Cam Rocket, shitcoin just pumped 10,000%, and you just gave a notice, the resignation notice to your boss. And then 5 days later, when it drops 90% in value, you're going to go and kindly ask them to claim you back. Okay, so I'm saying all of that, guys, because I do really care. I don't even give a care, to be honest. If I don't give a damn if you. I'm not going to force anybody. I cannot force you to act. I cannot force you to buy or sell. To be honest, that's not my not intention at all. My no intention is to ever make you buy or sell anything. That's completely up to you. To be honest, like whatever you do with your money, that's not my business. That's not my problem. That's for you to solve it. For $1,000 for everybody would mean something else. Okay, for a homeless person, it might be something big. For student, it might be something big. It used to be extremely big for me. Okay, but it's not big anymore. And that now that this perspective changes, you have to act differently upon that. Okay, and well, most importantly, you're going to want to watch and track the exit signals. Okay, and aside from those, like institutions joining and the FOMOing, um, you're going to see a lot of technical market signals indications. Okay, basically momentum. Like momentum is going to print some divergences. Let's say just an example, of course, like just for instance, this is not like not the top signal, but you're going to see on the tops most likely momentum divergence. This is a Birb indicator. It's a free indicator on TradingView. Okay. The divergence would mean that the price would be making new highs, but it would be very weak. It would be very vulnerable and very like lacking the steam and momentum, because the momentum for the oscillator would start printing lower highs. This tells you about this fundamental and foundational divergence that actually tells you about the trend instability, that the momentum does not support the trend anymore. The trend, the price is somewhere there and up in the sky on their own, on its own. It's not backed by anything out of the nothing else but just the thin air. So when the floor collapses, it's a free fall. Okay, you have to be aware of that. So the momentum is going to give you signals. You're going to see the major signals as well from the high time frame charts. Okay, when we give, let's say this is a weekly chart, and when we give, this is a 50-week moving average, just like it says in here. Okay, you will eventually see, of course, the exit signals, like the 50-week moving average cross like being broken down. Okay, the price rallying to the blow off top. This would likely just go and catch up. So eventually, when this just crosses for the last time, okay, for the next time that you see a violent cross and breakdown, okay, this is going to probably be one of the exit signals to actual bear market confirmations. Okay, and the market would recover slightly. You could expect the market to go up a bit, and rather than selling after 40-50% decline, but it's not going to be powerful. It's going to be completely different change of mode, of tendencies for the market. The primary trend switches to downwards. On top of that, you're going to watch and observe the on-chain analytics. Okay, on-chain analytics. So and these on-chain analytics are going to give you, just like I said, also information whenever NUPL. I think I put that on my blog recently. Okay. When the NUPL just goes over 0.75, let me check if it's out there. If it goes over 0.75, okay, that's where you want to start monitoring it very aggressively, just like it says in here. Okay, when 3/4 of the entire market is net unrealized profits, okay, then you want to get out. This is the loot that is on the table, and this loot is going to be utilized by whales to dump on you. So whenever you see these historical records going, the NUPL approaching this box over 0.75, especially over 0.8, this is an exit signal as well. On top of that, you're going to see exit signals, if you will. I'm not going to open up the chart perhaps, but like the new chart, but basically you see this here, this tiny period where the NUPL was printing divergence. You can see that the green light was going down while the price of the Bitcoin, which is the black curve, was going up. Okay, so this is per like momentum. This is an on-chain divergence, and you're going to see that on the NUPL, you're going to see that on the hash rate, you're going to see that as well in the active addresses, right? So the price was making new highs. I was telling everybody back then in April and March for how I disliked that the market could not hold the new highs it was making. So it was a clear distribution process. I was warning about that many times and days in a row. Okay, but most importantly, the divergence you want to watch is the market going up for the price. And at the same time, you can tell that there is a declining tendency between the highs on the NUPL, on the active addresses, okay, on the hash rate. This isn't like basically something that you're going to have and see as well on the on-chain side. You're going to want to take your money within the next couple of months. That's what I'm doing, and move about 80%. That's what I'm doing. I'm about to move 80% of my wealth that I built in crypto for the past couple of years, and I'm going to distribute it towards different asset classes, which is real estate, which is hard assets, aside from real estate, which is gold and silver, especially. Silver recently printed signal unseen since 18 years before. So it is basically a signal that happened once in the last 20 years or 18 years, whatever. I'm big bull for silver. Okay, it's right before the biggest rally on silver. Inflationary assets do well in the inflationary economy that we have right now. Inflation is accelerating. In Poland, it's 6.5 officially, but it's way larger in the practice. It's probably somewhere over 10%. It's crazy. Yeah, guys, and you want to take your profits. Remember, the biggest takeaway lesson out of that is you're going to have the biggest party right now, the biggest alt seasons, the biggest pumps on Bitcoins. You're going to have big money. You're going to be extremely euphoric, excited about that. You're going to be extremely happy about that. But at the same time, if you do not take your profits, you're going to watch your portfolio go down from the peak to the 99% lows. You have my word for that. I promise you that. And I'm certified to say that as a certified market analyst for the technical. So you have to trust me. That's all that I can do. That's all that I can do. I cannot force you, but that's the best I can do. Okay. So let me take very quick 1 or 2 questions before I give you guys the proper giveaway. Okay. I want to give you the proper giveaway, and it's going to come down, very soon. Okay. So it's going to look basically like this. Okay. This is just a hint, but this is some special giveaway. Okay. Before that, let's make sure to actually answer 1 or 2 questions. Great show. I appreciate it. Can you? What's the best platform to buy silver? I propose buying silver either in physical metal or getting exposure in ETFs. Getting exposure, you have exposure to silver contracts as well. On PrimeXBT, we have special code for PrimeXBT. We try to put it in the description as well. Do you think Lena really goes to $1? I don't know that. I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind that, right? Where to invest in silver? Just like I said, physical coins, bullion coins, bars. I do think it's pretty cool. Leverage. I use very little amount of leverage, not much leverage. Okay, which stage we are in? Basically, we are right ahead of the biggest party, right ahead of the biggest acceleration, and the forming of the process for the blow off top. Okay. Listen, everybody, very quick. There's too many questions. I cannot answer all of them. What you can do is you can go to thebirb'S.com and press this sign up free button. It's going to take you to the Birb'S to 7 days free to our beautiful community, which is more than 33,000 people. It's one of the largest community of this kind in the world, most likely ever since 2017. We've been here through ups and downs, bear markets, bull markets. Go ahead and do it. And everybody, I have huge announcements and giveaway to make for you, so I'm not going to keep it any longer. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, smash the likes, leave some comments, kind questions as well, thumbs up, and so on and so forth. 7 days from now, 7 days from now, we are starting 14-day free trading congress for traders. 30 sessions, webinars, broadcasts, interviews, AMAs, live streams, trading sessions, you name it, with the largest, biggest names in the space, traders. Biggest names, I cannot reveal that just yet, but this is going to go beyond your expectations, and it's going to be 14 days for free. It's like a camp, online camp, virtual event, November 12th to 25th. It's going to literally blow your minds. And guys, I'm inviting you. The giveaway stands for it. Make sure you go for the giveaway because that's all about it. God bless, stay safe, and go for the giveaway. I'm going to also, by the way, I didn't mention that. I'm going to put that in the description to the video. I'm going to put that in the description to the video, to this YouTube stream. This is going to be replayable. You can replay that. You're going to be able to find the link to the giveaway in the description. Okay, in the description to this video and on my Twitters. Make sure, guys, you actually go for it. 14 days free trading congress, November 12th to 25th. The sign-ups are open right now. God bless.